to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
This is a time when people like myself, who are deeply in favor of the vaccine, need to accept that at this point, some of the arguments that we made, whether they were ever valid is not what I'm talking about, but right now, they're not all valid. And it's very hard for people on our side to admit that, particularly because people want to still cast blame at people and say, you're spreading the virus, you need to do it. And I get it. People have a natural tendency to want to say, because they want it to be fixable.
They picked a side.
Well, and they thought it would be fixable. They said, if I follow the rules, this will get better. So I don't think their blame of people who were unvaccinated came from hate or disdain. It came from, we want this to be fixed, and we were told this is the way, and you guys aren't following the rules. And by the way, I have resentment about that too, because I didn't feel like doing this stuff either, and I did it. But at the same time, we now have to accept where we are now.
But you don't think there's a correlation with a high amount of people who got vaccinated and followed the mandates, whether they like it or not, that our numbers are down?
I do think that's the reason. No, Laura, I agree with you 100%. I thank the vaccine for that, and I believe we were correct for getting it. But at this moment in time, when we found out...
People are still harping on people, you mean?
Yeah, and when they found out we can still spread it, well,
after Omicron?
Now that you find out we can still spread it, you go, okay, my feelings on you needing to get it aren't as strong as they were. I don't feel bad that I felt that way 6 months ago, but I'm willing to update my opinion now that I know it's not quite the same thing.
I think you guys, the problem is it's not a either or. When it comes to vaccinated people at this moment saying that unvaccinated are the problem at this moment.
Correct.
There's an argument to be made, and I've read this in medical journals, that the reason the Omicron was weaker was because so many people got vaccinated.
I believe that.
Because, and once again, it's an argument, because they don't know. Maybe that Omicron would have been weaker if nobody got vaccinated.
Right, we don't know.
Right.
We
don't know.
Right,
I mean, and one of the bigger arguments of the whole thing was really about choice. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wanted to believe that this was going to fix it, and you did your research on that side of it, and you wanted to take it, then fine. But it was the people who were losing their jobs who felt like there was an alternative, that this was a one-size-fits-all vaccine. That was the biggest thing.
That was the biggest thing.
Just like what Cass brought up, tons of people just got let go. And that was always the real debate here.
Yes, that was a big part of it, for sure.
I just feel like we need to, to me, I was like, so many people got vaccinated. That's the reason we're here right now. But listen, I'm pro-vaccine, but I always felt it should have been a choice.
Right.
When it came to people's jobs, for sure. But guess what else? Hopefully people remember this moment in time, because we went through this about 100 years ago with the Spanish flu.
1920s.
And people didn't want to wear masks, and mass amounts of people died, and obviously vaccines rolled out slower. And this vaccine, the fact that it was brought to market fast enough to get people to get through this moment, I think deserves a salute. Once again, to people who didn't want to get vaccinated, that same rush to market to get us through this particular moment is also why they didn't want to get the vaccine.
Right.
Because they were like, yo, you're not thinking about my life 10 years from now. You're not thinking about my life 20 years from now. You're not thinking about my kid's life, and you're not thinking, and you don't have evidence to support what the future's going to look like. How many, do this. The next time you see them selling some sort of pill on television for whatever ailment, Google how many people died on trying that particular thing.
Or how about this? Wait till the very end of the commercial when they said, you could have possible blood clots, heart attack, emphysema, whatever.
All that stuff too.
It's like,
all of these, but all of these things have always been there.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And people have not wanted to take risks.
And you had the choice.
Exactly what I was just about to say.
You had the choice, and there was some liability.
It wasn't a mandate.
It wasn't a mandate. You didn't lose your job for those things.
But once again, if you don't believe in science,
congratulations, you played yourself.
Because the thing that got us to this point in the world has been science. Inoculations and vaccines have been around long before Big Pharma.
I agree. And listen, I'm not going back on my feelings, and I'm grateful to those of us who got vaccinated. I do think it was the right move. I stand by that. But I also refuse to be someone who, just for the sake of argument, keeps saying, like, doesn't want to be like, there are certain people who don't want the unvaccinated to win.
And that's,
that's
weird,
not, so
though,
what is
because
the win?
it
But that's
becomes,
the
it
win.
becomes a
The-
picking sides.
Because, I know that's
That's
what I'm
dumb.
that's what I'm pointing out. But the win, Shawnee, would be I held out.
Hold the line.
I held the line. And now once things are lifted, like Kyrie, for example,
Back
is
at it.
going to win. In some people's eyes. I don't look at it that way. But Kyrie will get a win because he will make it back before the playoffs. He will be playing in Brooklyn. He got to have
And he
his
stood his
cake and
ground.
eat it too. Now, Kyrie is a rare example because he's a multi-millionaire and could afford to
Exactly.
take that risk.
But the cake and eat it too is being able to.
Not get the vaccine
Right.
And keep your job.
and continue on with your life when the rest of us, as we see it, had to go get vaccinated. That's the and I understand why people are bitter about that, but you can't let that govern your ideology. It's not a good way to be.
Well, and
Right.
ultimately, listen, this comes down to money. It's always been about money.
Exactly.
And it's always been about the economy. And let's just, for the sake of what you're saying, Rosenberg, for the win, if the entire world would have stayed shut down, this entire, what has it been, 2 years?
Over 2 years.
Let's just say it was shut.
Oh, no, 2 years.
Like the way it was when it first happened, where it was like nobody can go anywhere. Restaurants are closed. Everything is closed until we figure this out.
Hypothetically speaking, right.
Let's just say that was what took place. People would be talking a lot different, and that was people's fear with the vax. They
fear.
was like afraid that we won't be able to function. People won't be making money, back to the money.
Money.
And then what are people gonna do? That was really what this was about. It was about the money and the ability for this nation to function on complete shutdown.
Right.
And everybody would have got
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So
if
like,
they
we
wouldn't have
gonna
got
try
to the
this out.
vaccine. So they tried something.
Let's try this so we can, get this
Get
money.
back to the money.
And some people didn't want to be tried out on. I hear you.
And those people got the,
Congratulations,
How?
you played yourself.
because they might have lost their job.
I mean,
You see what I'm saying? If you
they
lost your job,
they didn't want to be tried out on and they
If you
lost
lost
their
your job.
then they played. That's crazy though.
but that's what
crazy.
happened though.
If you didn't want to be tried out on and you lost your job, you played yourself.
Yes.
Well, Ebro's not wrong. You did. And
I mean, I hear you in some
it's
respects,
not
but
saying you're right. It's not saying it's good that you
It's
played
not
yourself.
good. I don't
right,
like
they
it.
gave you a crazy ultimatum to do something that you really didn't want to do, and you played yourself and you lost your career for it. That's horrible.
It's terrible.
It
Playing
is
yourself
horrible.
isn't always fun, Shawnee.
It's not fun.
what are you talking about?
That's the whole definition behind the
Yo,
page
the
itself.
whole thing. Shawnee, we've given a lot of people the button. We've given a lot of people the button, and it wasn't nice.
Touche.
Laura, what's on your list today?
I guess I don't
It's
even.
terrible.
It really is.
I'm on TMZ right now, and I was reading this article that this piece of garbage, Kyle Rittenhouse, intends to sue LeBron James
Congratulations, you played yourself.
because he believes he defamed him during the murder trial.
Yo,
First of all LeBron James was tweeted. It says it was a video, a USA Today article of him. Remember when he was crying in court? And he wrote, "What tears? I don't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy
Fam.
ate some lemon heads before walking into court."
Congratulations,
Listen.
you played yourself.
LeBron has so much money. The reason Rittenhouse is targeting, you could sue somebody over a sandwich. You know what I mean? You could sue someone over anything, and it's a money grab.
Oh, he's going after Whoopi Goldberg. Also.
It's all a money grab. It's all a money grab.
That's all it's ever been for Kyle Rittenhouse. It seems like Kyle Rittenhouse, since this entire thing ended, was just like, how can I stay popping and make money off of this?
Why wouldn't he?
And why wouldn't he?
Welcome to America.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Rosenberg, what you got?
Man, mine is for any man in particular, who decides to spend time on Twitter talking trash and bullying a black woman who we don't know exact details, but was shot in some way by a man. And by the way, I have not villainized Tory Lanez. I don't know the whole story. All I know is this. The idea that you would spend time trying to bully Megan Thee Stallion in a public
Are
forum.
you talking to DJ Akademiks right now?
Well, he was a loud one, but I know lots of people like him. You know?
But you could tell, Ebro. You see in comments and in posts, it's disgusting.
Yo, people really show how small their penis is.
Yikes.
Publicly. No, they really do. The idea that you would want to come after Megan Thee Stallion, regardless of what you know about all of it, if you don't know it, you're a Tory Lanez fan, okay, well then just lay out and be quiet and let it play out. But the idea that you would talk in a foul way to Megan, to me, is so embarrassing and repulsive. And you're so angry because you yourself can't spend time with a woman. Because you got Cheeto dust so on your fingers from being on Twitch all day.
Oh, my God.
You're so far away from a woman that you think you need to bully women?
Wow.
Yo, bro, that's...
Congratulations.
Next time
You
you're on
played
one of the
yourself.
porn websites that you frequent for 14 hours a day, and
Yo,
you
who
see
are you talking
and you
to?
see the penis
this is very
enlargement.
specific.
No,
This is
it's not.
very
I'm
specific.
telling you, it's not very specific.
Cheeto dust.
It's not very specific. It's
There's
general.
a profile. There's a profile of an individual.
There's a profile of an individual. They may have a leader, but once you see that thing, when you're on the porn, when you're in hour 7 of pornography, and on the right side it says enlarge your penis, click that and pay to enlarge your penis rather than talking trash about a woman who was shot in public. Wow. It's embarrassing.
Nothing to worry about.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Did I lie?
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good what you're saying. And you know, I think I've been pretty public about this, and I've said this before. I told Tory Lanez via text, I was like, I can't support how you're moving with this. I was like, I don't know what happened. But immediately after the whole thing came out, I told him, I was like, I don't like how you're handling this. Like, you haven't said anything like, it was a bad night, I would never want to hurt Megan Thee Stallion, anything. You put out an album. You put out a promotional thing to generate money after someone was harmed. As a man, when you do that to me, I can't support that. Without even knowing exactly what happened, you just didn't handle that moment and say, I would never hurt this woman. It was a terrible night. You don't have to get into the details. Say something. Don't put out an album that's professing your love
and the taunting online and showing up
and
to
here's the other
concerts.
Part. The other part of this that I don't know if people are paying attention to is Megan has been very specific. Going back to the beginning where she wasn't saying much, felt like she was being bullied, and then she was very specific in saying Tory Lanez shot me. But that's not what she said. That's not what I want to say. I don't want to, but y'all keep coming for me, so you're forcing me to say something. I didn't want to do that. She has been very specific. On the other side, there hasn't been a lot of specificity.
And nor has there been like an outright, I'm going to do an interview, get on camera, look at the camera and say, I promise you, I never pulled out a gun on a woman. That's all I want. Tell me you never pulled out a
Just
gun
be
on a woman.
specific. You don't have to get into, and so my thing is, I can't support the handling of it. We'll find out what the facts are, but from looking at it, one person has been very specific, the other one has not.
And to my point, where is the win in jumping out on social media to throw shots towards Megan? Where is the win there? If you're a man, why would you do that?
It's such a coward move, bro.
Maybe I'm missing something. I don't understand.
You're such a cuck.